In a previous video of mine about the Osmo Pocket 3, I mentioned how the footage in that video was colour corrected and colour graded with FilmConvert Nitrate. And so because my process has slightly changed, given the fact that FilmConvert now has a new plugin, which I'll get onto in a little while, I wanted to go through that whole process from start to finish, as well as telling you about the new plugin, because it's a plugin that means that there's one less accessory that you're going to need for your Pocket 3, and it's pretty awesome. So if you're unfamiliar with FilmConvert, they're basically a company that has a suite of plugins, and these plugins are great for matching camera footage. So if you shoot on multiple cameras, then you can make sure that your footage looks consistent across your entire video from the different cameras that you've shot. And that plugin is CineMatch. And not only can you use it for matching your cameras, you can also use it to actually color correct your footage more accurately than kind of just winging it or using the scopes in your editing software. And then, as I mentioned, they have Hazy, which is a brand new plugin, which I'll go through in a little while, which is part of the process now. And then also FilmConvert Nitrate. And Nitrate is used to just give your footage a specific look using various different film emulations. And it's been my absolute go-to for the last 7 years, I'd say, whenever I started doing this whole video thing. And so I've used FilmConvert for a very long time. So it's a massive part of my workflow and I absolutely love it. So as I mentioned, Hazy was just released this week, and the whole point in this plugin is to allow you to add mist or diffusion or that kind of a look after you've shot your footage, which means that you don't actually have to use a mist filter or a diffusion filter whilst you're filming your footage, which is great because it means that you can dial in the strength and the amount that you want to have on your footage. And I'll show you that in the workflow. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go through the color correction process. And like I said, for this, I use CineMatch. Okay, so the editor that I use is Final Cut Pro, but all the plugins from FilmConvert will work with Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, and DaVinci Resolve. So if you use any of those editing suites, then you're good. And it's also worth mentioning that if you are new to FilmConvert and you just want to try out the plugins, then you can do that and you'll get full access to all the settings and the parameters. All you have to do is download a trial version and you'll just have a watermark on your footage until you actually buy a license. So it's a really great way to actually try it out and see if you like it, and then you can buy the license when you're ready to do so. Okay, so I've got my D-Log-M footage here. This was shot on the Pocket 3 in D-Log-M, and I am gonna start with the first process, which is using CineMatch to color correct the footage. So I just want to make sure that the exposure is fine and the white balance is okay, and then I can go on to actually color grading the footage. So I'm just going to go into my effects panel, look for camera matching, and then CineMatch, and just drag it onto my clip, and then open controls. I'm just going to drag this over here so it's not in the way. And the first thing that I'm going to do is select my make. So I use the DJI and then my model, the Pocket 3, and then I shot in D-Log-M. If you were trying to match this Pocket 3 footage with another camera, so for example, I shoot with my A7S III, and sometimes I need to match the footage between the A7S III and the Pocket 3, I would set my target camera to be the Sony A7S III, so you can do that, and then that footage ends up looking like the Sony A7S III, and then when you go to color grade the footage, it will basically look seamless after making a few tweaks. But seeing as I'm not trying to emulate a different camera, I'm going to actually take that off, and I'm just going to go with the Pocket 3. So the other thing to note is that if you don't actually want to color grade the footage, but you just want to use CineMatch to color correct and transform the footage into a normal color space, you can actually do that by applying this Rec 709 transformation, and you can see it's converted it into a normal color space. To me, the footage looks a little bit overexposed, and the way that I can also see this is by using the exposure false colors. So I'm going to turn this on. It's already on skin tones, but if you look here on my face, I've got some gray here, and basically what I do is adjust the exposure until that's basically gone, because it means that when it is all the way like this, it basically means that the footage is really overexposed. And if I convert it, you can see it's all washed out, it's completely overexposed. And so if you apply this false color and then take it down to where you've basically got nothing there, even if there's a little bit of a highlight, that's okay, but you can just go back and have a look. And I know that it was quite a bright day, so I know that the places where there are going to be highlights are going to be my forehead and then like the tip of my nose, for example. So I'm not going to get rid of it completely because it would look unnatural and too dark. So if I apply that and then this transformation, you can see that the exposure looks pretty spot on. And so when I finished with CineMatch and I finished color correcting, I then do the color grade. But like I said, Hazy has now become part of the process as well. And so you'll find that in diffusion, and then just drag Hazy onto the clip and then you can see it here. So the first thing to do is select the manufacturer. So mine was DJI, and then my input gamma is D-Log-M. So you can see here that you've got the different input gammas for D-Log, D-Cine-like and normal. So if you were shooting on a different camera, say like the Pocket 2 for example, which is D-Cine-like, then you'll be able to use that for this camera, use Hazy for that camera as well, and same with like the Action 3, which I think is D-Cine-like as well. And if you were to shoot in the normal color profile, you just wanted to add that mist diffusion look to your footage, then you can also do that as well because it has a normal color profile. But like I said, I shot in D-Log-M, so I'm going to choose that, and then you can just go through the different styles. So these would be the styles of the different filters, for example. So you've got black pro mist, you've got bloom, diffusion, glimmer, haze, a few others there, and you can just choose the look that you want, which you would typically only be able to get if you put a filter on your camera. So I'm going to use the black pro mist because I quite like that from a filter perspective, and you can choose the different strengths here. So typically I think I have a half, a quarter and an eighth. I haven't got a 1, so the 1 is going to be pretty strong. You can see it's completely affected the highlights of the image, and the whole image itself is just a little bit more dreamy. So for me that's a little bit too much, so I'm probably going to go with a quarter. And then when I color grade it, I'll see what that looks like, and if it's a little bit too much again, then I can always turn it down. But you've got different sliders here, so the intensity, you can again change how strong that look is, so you can really dial that in. And then you've also got the spread, so this is how defined the look is going to be in terms of the edges of the subjects and whatnot. And there are more settings here so that you can really tune in the look of the haze. But what I'm going to do is first color grade the footage, because that's going to help me to actually see the colors in the image. So if I wanted to add a different kind of temperature to the haze or the saturation, then I can do that a lot easier if the footage is color graded. So I'm going to go to my film emulation and add FilmConvert Nitrate, open the controls, and then find the camera profile. So again, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 D-Log-M. And so you can now see, because it's got the correct camera profile, that the footage is starting to look better. But at this point I need to go through and dial in my settings so that I get the look that I specifically want. So the first thing that I do is choose my film stock. I have my favorites, but there are so many to choose from. You got some black and white ones if you like that kind of a look, if you're going for that. And yeah, it's just a case of going through and just choosing what you like the most. So maybe I'll go with, I'm going to start with maybe this one. I like this one. And as you can see, the footage is looking quite dull, so there's not much vibrance or saturation. So again, just going through and tweaking the different sliders. So this adds the vibrance to the image. You can go crazy and go all the way up, but it's just dialing it into the amount that you want, and then adding a bit of saturation as well. And then the film color, this is how strong the film emulation is going to be, so you can adjust that to how you want. And then the Cin to PFE is kind of like how faded the film is going to look, or how contrasty the film is going to look. So again, that is completely down to your preference as well. And then the grain strength, this is how much film grain you want to have, and you can change the different film size as well. So you can have the grain more pronounced with a different type of film size, and you can just play around with that. I tend to keep it at 35mm full frame, and then I'm going to take my grain down to around 60%. And so halation, I talked about this in another video because it's a really nice way to add authentic halation to things like lights, for example, light bulbs or neon signs, which is cool when you're shooting in low light or shooting at night. So I don't tend to use it for scenes like this. So if I do any kind of night footage, then I can come back and show you that process. But I did talk about that in another video, and I'll put a link in the description to that. So the next part of this is you can add in a bit more saturation here, which covers the overall look of the image. And then I'm also just going to turn my highlights down a little bit because the image just comes out a little bit too bright for me. Cool. And so this was before, so this is D-Log M without any grading, and then this is with the color grade. And I would just go through and I would tweak this until I'm happy with it. Sometimes I might even change the film stock. So if I went with the first one, for example, bearing in mind that if you do change the film stock throughout the process, then you might have to tweak things a little bit more just to make it look better. So for me, this looks a little bit dark, so I might just actually come back and put some of my highlights back into the image, and then also just reduce this a little bit and the film color and maybe just the vibrance. So yeah, it comes down to what look you're trying to go for. So coming back to Hazy, remember how I said that I wanted to color grade the footage first? I did this because I wanted to show you how you can adjust the white balance of the haze and the saturation of the haze based on the overall final look of the footage. And so when you open the white balance and you enable this, you can see that you've got a temperature slider and a tint slider, and you can adjust the overall look of the haze. So this is applying the temperature change to the haze. So you've got the tint and the haze here, and you can see that it's just affecting those areas that have the haze and the mist. And so when you then have a look at the saturation, that is going to change how strong the saturation of the haze is as well. But so if you look over at this window here, keep an eye over here, you can see how that is changing. And so if you want to get a more detailed breakdown of all the different settings in Hazy, then if you go to the help section, it'll bring up this text file, which will break down each setting and how best to use it to really get the look that you're after. So that is my process, and as I mentioned in the beginning, you can get a trial version to each of the plugins. The only difference is that you'll have a watermark on the footage, but you'll get full access to all the plugins until you're ready to buy the license. And because it is Black Friday, you're going to get an amazing Black Friday deal, as well as an additional 10% if you use the code TamaraG. I'll put a link in the description so that you can check that out. But thanks to FilmConvert for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you on the next video.